Thursday, April 25th. So what strategies do you use in the writing process? Those are things you want to bring over from your other classes, specifically your language arts class where they focus on that quite a bit. Use those skills to help you in writing your response in 2.7. So we're going to analyze and interpret data about how Lisa's body is taking in and absorbing different molecules. Students construct written arguments based on this evidence, explaining their diagnosis of Lisa's condition and how it affects her body system's ability to deliver molecules to her cells, which involves scale, proportion, and quantity systems and system models. So the practice is analyzing, interpreting data, and constructing written arguments. The core ideas are around body systems and their ability to deliver molecules to cells. And the concepts that we continually use involve scale, proportion, and quantity, as well as systems and system models. Your outcomes are met when you've made a claim and gathered evidence about Elisa. You've explained in your argument how the evidence collected matches Elisa's condition, and you explained how the roles of the body systems are involved in that connection. So it's all about 2.7. We want you to complete at least through the first draft, at least through step 3, the part about getting with your group and actually writing out something. Hopefully you can get further than that if you're able to use some time yesterday, but if not, don't worry. You've got tomorrow as well. At this point, it should be clear to you what 2 molecules are needed by cells to make energy. You should know those. They should come to mind right away. You should know what you need to take into your body to get those 2 molecules. Where do they come from? Do they come directly from the environment? Do you have to take something in and break it down? You should know that by now. You should know what systems create or deliver those molecules. Right? What body parts are we talking about? Things like that. Where do those molecules go? They're going in and things are happening to them, but where are they finally ending up? And then 5, if you know what happens when they get there, you're moving in the right direction. You're creeping ahead into the next chapter. So let's use a model to review. So we're going to open up Lesson 2.3, Step 3 model, which has all the molecules and all the parts we need to talk about. Even though we used it once, we're going to work together as a class and alter it again. We're going to take each of those things on the previous screen and look at them one at a time and model them so we're clear on what they are and how they work. 2.7, help me decide. This is there for those of you who still feel overwhelmed by what's going on. And what you're going to want to do is go back into Lesson 2.4 and open up the simulation and take a look at each of the conditions. So here is a healthy body systems diagram. This is what it looks like when things are where they're supposed to be and moving in the right direction. And what you're going to see in the next 4 screens are flowcharts, things to help you decide after running a simulation in 2.4 with the body condition what the outcome might be. So we start in the upper left box. In this case, do more than 15 molecules of oxygen get taken in per breath? As you're watching the simulation run under the asthma condition, if that is yes, then you move to the box on the right. If it's no, we know that Lisa has asthma. If she does get more than 200 molecules of oxygen into her cells, then she might have something else. And so if the answer to that is no, if all those molecules don't get to her cells, then she has anemia. If they do, then she doesn't have anemia or asthma. She has something else. And there's a flow chart for each of the condition groups. And notice they're slightly different, especially between diabetes pancreas when compared to anemia and asthma. Because if you remember, 2 of those were focused on oxygen, 2 of those were focused on glucose. And so use those flow charts to help you decide what you think Lisa might have, and then go back to 2.7. So in 2.7, again, we are diagnosing Elisa the best we can at this point, but some of you probably have a pretty good idea. And as we mentioned yesterday, you've worked with the class doing numerous things, you've worked in groups doing numerous things, and you've worked alone doing numerous things. And that's actually our goal, that you yourself start to have a pretty good idea of what's going on. Okay? And that is our Thursday and our Friday.